Okay, we're looking at the next step. You know, your stuff's germinated. It's on the shelf at home, by the window, in a cloche, on a hotbed even. Anything you like. Getting the seedlings going, but keeping them checked, making sure they're not drawn, they're not moving to the light. And that ensures really, and to ensure that, you need to get them out and moving on into to bigger pots quite quickly. The time to ideally move stuff on is after the seed leaves have germinated. Now, the seed leaves are the first set of leaves that come from a plant. These are the seed leaves, usually, or almost always, of a different shape and size to the actual leaf that you're looking at, in this case, brassica. So it doesn't have that cruciform shape. It has these kind of fat, rather round, glabrous looking leaves. So with these true seed leaves, we're looking at getting these young plants moved on quickly before they start getting checked by the competition of this rather thick, dense sowing that we see here. Now, the ideal time to move these plants on would be once their true leaves develop. Always handling with their seed leaves, never their true leaves. But in these cases, in this case here, because we know what we're doing and we're being very, very careful, we'll transport these. And time is an issue as well. We're going to get this stuff out quickly. So I'm going to move these on at this stage, probably a little bit earlier than I'd advise at home, and get them into their homes, which they'll stay in until they start going out into the garden. Now, it's important at this stage also is that the food that's been stored in that seed, that's been able to push this stem and these seed leaves out, is almost exhausted. So the soil I'm putting them into is into a fed soil, a soil that has some residual nutrition into that. And now it could be one of the John Innes mixes, it could be a proprietary mix for seedlings, or it could even be your own. But be very careful not to overfeed young plants like this. You don't want too much lush green growth. Just check the packets first. So using a dibber, being very gentle with this brand new root, popping it into there, slowly pushing the soil back up against the stem, like that. Being brassicas, they're pretty tough little seedlings, like that, gently firm it in. And then moving ourselves through these modules here, one at a time. It's a labour-intensive job and there's no quick way around it at all. However, once this is done, as I say, and they've been fed and they've been watered, under some heat or some protection from the frost, young seedlings like this should be starting to move within days of being transplanted. Nothing likes being transplanted at all. So giving the space and the room to develop a good, healthy root system before it's turned out into the garden is essential. And really, it's what we're doing is buying time. Now, I know this is a pretty labour-intensive job, you know, but what you're really doing is buying a lot of time for these plants. You're giving them a nice big rooting zone to sit in, develop a good, healthy root system for the next 6-8 weeks. It also means you're not going to be tied to the weather so much. You've actually got these things indoors, protected. If they are indoors in your house, check they're not getting drawn to the light. If they are doing, and that's the only place that you've got, keep them moving around, turning them, so no lot are getting more favoured than the others with respect to light by the window. But as soon as you can, particularly with the brassica family like this, get them out by a wall, by the south wall of the house if you've got one, covered in glass, covered with something just to keep some of the frost off them, and then gently harden them off. Look at ventilation as well. Getting seedlings like this is encouraging, moving seedlings like this is never too many damage things. Looking at damping off, checking that the seedlings are not lying down where disease has started to infect them. Keep checking for things like that, but good ventilation and good spacing will remedy this. So as I say, what I'll be looking at doing is getting these seedlings potted on, fed, watered, so by the next probably 6 weeks they'll be out enjoying the open ground, frost free hopefully. Okay, just doing the last one now. Pop this lad in here, just firm him in. Don't forget the label, very important. Get the label in, off to water, next lot to do.